For a second there, I thought C-3PO was talking in my ear for a second. I was like,
It sounded like it.
What is that? All right. You are listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast service of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. It's time for Streaming Verse with Chris and Nina. Sans Nina today. We had a last-minute shuffle. Nina is under the weather, so send her all the positive vibes you have that she feels better soon. And her brother Deagan is filling in today.
Hello, I'm back.
Should we be scared or should we be happy about this?
Yeah.
Okay, both.
I don't know. Either or.
Okay. And we are listening to Oat Milk from this late release. It was just released yesterday, Contrafacts by DJ Double Dip. And this is our fun little intro song as we're vibing. Nina, if you're listening, this is what I was going to talk to you about. Like, we should start the show this way if you're watching. Like, all the time. With the, 20-second intro of just listening to this music.
Good vibe.
Yes, it is. Kind of gets you in the mood for, chill out, wash away everything from your day. Don't worry about your tests.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the fact that, our ordering system crashed at work today and I ordered nothing and got nothing done. But, hey. I'm vibing. I'm chilling right now. So I think we have a good show today. Yes. We're going to go over some things that we've both watched this past week.
Yes.
Talk about Ghostbusters. It's in my head now. Great.
Yeah, I'm sorry. When I hear Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I can't do it though. That was great the way you did that. Yeah. And then we're going to have Deagan use Nina's words to review last week's episode of Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know what I'm just going to read the teleprompter.
And that's perfect. That's all that you need to do. It's Grey's Anatomy. They don't put much thought into writing the show. You don't have to put much thought into talking about it.
The reviewers are just like,
All right. Let's get started. That was fun. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm chilling out. So, I'm going to start off. Do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Have you seen Red Notice yet?
No, a bunch of my friends watched it and they said it was great, but one of them also didn't like Dune, so I can't,
Don't trust them. It was, I have to admit, it's so bad at the beginning that it was really hard to keep watching, and I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
But I do want to say, it went on for a long time before I'm like, if I didn't have Streaming Verse, I would not be watching this. Oh, and by the way, forgot to share when we opened it up, we are on YouTube Live, so you can head over there, YouTube, Harper Radio, and comment and chat with us while we're on the show. And don't forget to hit subscribe while you're there. But yeah, I was watching it, and it wasn't until, there's no spoilers because I haven't finished it. I know nothing yet. The Rock gets into a Porsche and they start playing Sabotage, similar to Star Trek, and it's all Easter eggs apparently, this whole movie. But yeah, I'm partial way through and so far I'm not impressed at all. In fact, I've seen some reviews that say, here's 10 better things you could be watching. They spent, I think, $200 million for this.
The most expensive Netflix movie ever made.
And it's awful.
Yeah.
So far, I get, And there's, I think, a Simon Pegg wannabe character in there. There's a character where I swear it's like, they wanted this to be Simon Pegg, which would have probably helped it.
Yeah. Simon Pegg is great.
Yes. Yeah, I do too. I forgot to stop our background music, so they're probably still hearing that on YouTube. It was low. It was okay. Yeah, so that's one of the things I watched this week. What about you?
Well, I watched a few things, but
I got more.
Yeah,
I've got plenty more.
Yeah,
it's back and forth. Back and forth here.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
So last night I actually watched Career Opportunities by I can't remember who directed it, but it's on Tubi, this free service with ads. One of my close friends, he loves it. He says he wants to get a tattoo of Tubi, but that's the whole thing.
Who's that actor in there?
In Career Opportunities, Frank Whaley.
Yes.
Whaley.
I love him.
He's great.
Yes.
And Jennifer Connelly.
Yes.
Very, very young. And John Hughes wrote it, but he hated how it turned out so much that he wanted his name removed from it. I watched it, didn't think it was that bad.
I don't think so either. I don't think it's awesome. Like, if you had to rate movies, and this is an old rating, because I think it would be different now. But if you see it in the movie theater, rent it at home, which I don't think any of us really rent anymore. You know, I mean, we do streaming, but we're paying for so many services. Yeah. So my rating scale used to be watching the movies, rent from Blockbuster, or wait till it's on TV. Mm-hmm. I think that would be a rent or watch TV.
Yeah,
but not bad.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention. Nina said about Red Notice, dang, that sucks. I was looking forward to watching that movie.
Sorry, Nina. I mean, I haven't finished it yet, so it might change.
Yeah.
But I also, since we know Nina is now part of the conversation, the fact that Gal Gadot is not wearing her hair in a ponytail, anytime I see a woman in any type of action movie who doesn't have her hair up, it's like, that's so not realistic. Anyway, all right, so career opportunities?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it should get any more praise than Breakfast Club or Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles. But I had a good time while watching it, so I think if you're looking for just some mindless coming-of-age movie, that's a good one.
That's a good one to watch. Okay, I like that. Something else I watched this week was the latest episode of The Morning Show, which is on Apple Plus.
I want to watch that so bad.
And this has nothing to do with spoilers per se. This is all about COVID, because for Grey's Anatomy, did not like them doing COVID because we all lived it. We didn't want to see it. Like, that's one of the, I just talked to another friend today. She's like, I couldn't watch it anymore because we've lived it. We don't want to be in it. But The Morning Show is coming at it where it's March 5th, 2020.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm finding fascinating. And one of the things that a character said to another one was, yeah, we got to talk to you about setting up a studio in your home. And she's like, I don't think there's a need for that. And there's all this pushback happening. And it's just funny because I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it's interesting seeing how they're like, why aren't we talking about this more? Everyone's like, it's only impacted X many people. And I'm waiting to see if in the next episode they start talking about, like, it's just the East Coast. Because at first it was just the East Coast. Like, we were like, oh, what's the big deal? Mm-hmm. And you don't know this. I was actually in New York City. We were there for a radio. So a lot of people from the radio station, we were there like March 8th last year. Yeah. So we felt it. None of us got sick. Like, we all waited 2 weeks after. We're like, thank you. None of us got sick.
That's incredible.
So I'm really liking this. The one thing I have to say is I hope The Morning Show kind of skips the bad part of I hope they do. I normally don't like time hops in TV shows, but I'm hoping they do one.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to, no one wants to live this again.
No.
Yeah. So that was one of the other things I watched.
Nina said she wants to watch it too.
Yeah.
So Nina's kind of is a part of the conversation.
Yes, yeah.
Just, again, like we're going to do with Grey's Anatomy, it's just coming from me.
Right.
And I also had the opportunity to watch Jungle Cruise on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Another The Rock movie.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yes.
And Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a great time watching it, and I actually enjoyed it. Like, I don't know, I've watched a few movies that I didn't know what I was gonna think about them, but I enjoyed them both. So, like, Jungle Cruise, I think it's gonna make my top of 2021. Not like
really,
not top.
Yeah,
that's French Dispatch, which isn't streaming, so I shouldn't mention it.
Yeah,
sorry.
And Dune. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Dune's up there. But it's like gonna be like top 20 or so.
That's good because I heard that there was some negative criticism about it.
I could see it, like people being like, well, there's certain stuff that's kind of like, but I got over it. It's a Disney movie. I enjoyed it. That
is true. Like, who was it made for?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I have to say it's probably the same thing with me with Red Notice, where if it wasn't Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot, I might go, it's fine. But knowing how much money they put into that, and especially Ryan Reynolds, I expect a lot from him.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, have you seen Free Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good in
Yes.
that. Like, why he should try to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and now it may not be him. It could, of course, as you know, especially because you're into film, could have been the editing.
Yeah.
It could have been multiple things could have gone into why it was like that.
I can't have an opinion yet because I've seen the trailers. I thought some of the visual effects were a little iffy, but I haven't watched it all the way through or seen any of it. Really.
Yeah. We will save the in-depth conversation on this for when Nina's back, but Taylor Swift was just on SNL.
Yes.
And she had the whole 10-minute song, which is what we'll save for Nina. But a couple of things I wanted to mention is, one, I thought she was really cute. What was the name of that song again?
3 Sad Virgins.
Yes, 3 Sad Virgins. I thought she was great in that. That was really cute. I like it when they do those little shorts, the digital shorts. But I have to say that I'm really glad that Pete Davidson was already dating Kim Kardashian, which neither of us, Deegan and I, do not understand. Because the last thing we need is Pete Davidson dating another singer and have another song about the breakup.
Poor Pete. He's been through a lot,
He has, but this whole Kim Kardashian thing, I just hope he knows it's a phase.
Yeah. Because I don't think we should get into that whole thing.
No, but it's just, like I said, I just think, hey, good thing there's not going to be a breakup song about Pete Davidson. Another one, because there already has been one.
The Ariana Grande one.
Yes.
Yeah. That's very good.
Yeah. Anything else that you have that you watched?
Yeah, I have a few things, but should I just
pick one more? Yeah, time-wise. Yep.
Okay. I think I'll pick Dog Day Afternoon. I know. You
went from career opportunities in Jungle Book to Dog Day Afternoon.
I know. Well, I have some.
That's a leap. No, I know. No, I'm joking.
It's cool.
I'm with you. I'm very diverse too. I went from morning show to Red Notice. Trust me.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like, it's on HBO Max. Just so you know.
Yep.
But I watched it from the library. Another quick shout out to the library. Always gotta support them.
You're right about that.
So I got on DVD and watched it, and my dad actually came in and saw most of it with me. But I think that's one of the most well-written, even though it's really not written, because it's mostly just them improvising. Like the whole, this isn't really a spoiler, and also the movie's like 50 years old.
If you haven't seen it yet, that's your fault.
Yeah. Like when Al Pacino goes out and goes, Attica,
yeah.
Like, well, not like that, but
Yeah.
That was all improvised.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
And the director, Sidney Lumet, also directed 12 Angry Men, which is another great movie, 50s. And he didn't look at any of the pictures of the actual events. He just kind of like read the story and tried to figure it out by himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's pretty accurate too.
Yeah, that was Dog Day Afternoon. That's a good movie. I haven't seen that for a long time.
You should rewatch it. Great watch.
All right, I'll put it on my list. I'm traveling. I'm taking connecting flights over Thanksgiving. I have a list.
Yeah, I think.
Plus reading.
Oh yeah, I think Tootsie's on one of the flight services.
Oh, okay.
With Dustin Hoffman.
It's so hard to watch. It's a good movie. I just watched it when one of the professors here streamed it for their class because of the music. Because the 80s had this, like, you have to use this music versus picking the music that better went necessarily with it. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, play a couple of PSAs. We'll be right back, and we will be talking about Ghostbusters. So stay tuned here on Streamingverse on WHCM.
Good evening, everybody. Times like this, we all need a space to just chill out and relax.
Did you put still on?
Right?
Yeah.
Got just the place for ya. Tune into my show, Haley's Happenings, on either Wednesday or Friday, both at 5 p.m. Hang out with me, listen to some music, listen to whatever's going on lately, and just have some fun. You can only hear it on WHCM 88.3 FM Palatine, Illinois. Hope to see you there.
What if I could tell you when a wildfire was going to happen? Of course, I can't, but shouldn't you be ready anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, you are listening to WHCM, always online at harperradio.com. And currently, Chris and guest host Deagan are also streaming on YouTube Live. So you can head over to Harper Radio on YouTube and check us out. Let us know you're there. Send us a comment and subscribe while you're at it. Hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
I'm sounding so official here. Like,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I was watching YouTube videos this week. I'm like, I have to say, hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
I got to start doing
Yeah.
that.
And slap that like button.
Right, exactly. Get in there. Hit that button. All right, so since Nina's not here, we changed up the original intention of the show a little bit, and we were going to talk about streaming concerts, which we will talk about at a later time. But one thing I want to say, when you mentioned the library, I actually contacted a bunch of libraries today, mine and Harper, okay, 2, and had a nice little conversation with both. And the app Quell, I think Quell, was originally designed to watch concerts. And during the pandemic, you got it for free. Like, my library gave it to me for free. Well, they didn't renew that service. But I think Quell, and I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but Quell. Oh, Quell, Quello.
Oh.
Is
yeah.
that?
I feel like I've heard of it.
Okay. And, but I have a feeling they got so popular during the pandemic that now they're like, hey, we can start making money on this, because I do have friends who watch it. But I wanted to thank both Schaumburg Library and Harper College Library for being very helpful, because I was trying to find free resources, for the show. So we'll talk about that more when we talk about that. But I wanted to mention that because you mentioned libraries, and they're awesome.
Yes. Libraries, I love them.
Yes.
I go there at least once a week to pick up new movies, and then
You'd be envious. I used to live, when my son was in high school, we lived right behind the Schaumburg Library, literally right behind it. So we'd be home at like 9:30 at night, and he'd go, I'm going to go to the library and get a book. And I didn't care. It was a block and a half, if you measure blocks, but literally it was like across the street from where we lived, because we lived behind in this little subdivision. So he'd walk over to the library, pick out a book, come home, and
I'm insanely jealous.
It was I have to say, it was the best. Because same with movies. We'd go, we want to go check something out. We'll just walk right over there. It was almost like it was our living room just a little bit further away. It's all that it was.
Yes.
So speaking of checking out things from the library, and I'm sure you can stream this, especially now, Ghostbusters. So this weekend, Ghostbusters Afterlife is coming out, which I keep calling it Stranger Things because of some of the actors in it. And it's like, no.
I actually have a Stranger Things hat on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's Dustin's from season 3.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Ghostbusters. It looks good with the sexiest man alive.
I know. Speaking of the sexiest man alive, there is one of the trailers where he's in the grocery store. And you can see all little marshmallow men doing stuff. And there's a shot of him doing this weird thing with this specific expression. I'm like, I wonder how many takes that took.
Yeah.
Because there's so... And for those, if you haven't seen... I think I described it enough for those who aren't watching on YouTube. But yeah, he's... And all I could think of is... That's the sexiest man alive right there. Which I think it's funny. I think everyone's in on the joke of this one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So... Ghostbusters is a good movie. I highly recommend watching it if you haven't seen it before the other one. The saddest part about all of this is that Harold Ramis is no longer with us, which makes us sad because, and plus he was from around here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
But I like from all the trailers, I like how they're kind of dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, oh, he's just not a Ghostbuster anymore. They, sadly had to kill him off. Right. But it's kind of his legacy, which I like.
Yeah.
That's the impression I get.
Yeah, no, I agree. Even with the trailer, even though I think we're all super excited to see this, and we've got this great positive vibe, it's more subdued with the trailer. Yeah. He's passed away. Yeah. We inherited this home. It's very... subdued, but in terms of I think respectful to him. Yeah. And then I'm just waiting to see who's answering that phone though, when it rings.
It's either
Bill Murray or Dan Aykroyd. Yeah. I'm guessing Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, it looks like his arm. I'm, you know.
So we've gone, checked out the videos.
Yes.
We've checked out Dan Aykroyd's
I-
arm.
I've
We've
studied his
age progressed it.
arm.
But yeah, the trailer looks good. But you said you were checking out some other
Yeah.
like clips and stuff. So
So,
what is out there?
I recently watched Ghostbusters on Blu-ray. I'm a very much, in-hand collector, which is kind of the opposite of streaming verse.
Yes.
But it's streaming, and
Yeah.
I think you could find these bonus features on YouTube. Don't
Yes.
quote me on that, but
I'm sure you can.
guessing.
Yeah.
And I watched some great bonus features from like the special effects department who, when they were blowing up the top of the building in Ghostbusters 1, they blew it up, and the special effects guy was like, okay, everyone, you're safe if you stand behind me. And they blew it up, and a bench hit one guy in the head. Didn't kill him, hurt him very bad, though.
Oh no.
He was in the video, and it was like 10 years after. So
Oh,
he was
okay.
like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Well, and it wasn't rust, so.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's still rough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's. I mean, just like any workplace, like we think that being in movies are like glamorous and stuff like that. They're really not.
Yeah.
I've actually. All right, let me pause for a second because I'm laughing at myself. A comedian did this one time. You know when you go on shopping online for things you could not afford whatsoever, and you think, no, I don't want to buy that yacht because of this reason, even though it's so out of your price range, it's crazy. I do the same thing about acting. So I always think I couldn't stand in those freezing temperatures. That would freak me out. Yeah, I couldn't be an actor. Like that's what's keeping me from being an actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. Yeah, so when it comes to some of the stuff they have to do, it's like, yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
Yeah. And the scene, speaking of rough conditions, the scene when the nature guy who comes in and shuts down the power, spoiler, but again,
Yeah.
old movie. I don't think it's old, but it technically is old.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 40 years, right? Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 40 years old. Trust me, I played the theme song on my other radio show, Plan 10 Radio, on
Yeah.
Monday morning, and just hearing it went, I'm going in the Wayback Machine right now. It's a dated song.
Yeah.
I mean, again, don't get me wrong, Ghostbusters love it, but yeah, it's old. Yeah. Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so the power guy, who comes in and he shuts it down.
Right.
And then there's that whole joke that I can't say because
Yes,
radio.
right.
But in the scene when all the marshmallow falls on him, that weighed a lot, and the special effects guys didn't really tell anyone. So it like almost took him down. It was so much.
Jeez.
And because it's like shaving cream and something else. I can't remember.
Oh, that would be scary though.
Yeah. And they saw it and they were like, oh boy, that could have gone very badly. But luckily, everything went
was
okay.
It was cool.
Yeah, everything was okay.
But that's just it. Like, I am sure that happens, all the time on sets. And those are things we don't hear about.
Yes.
But the same thing, like, I think they used to make snowflakes out of something to do with asbestos, too.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty. So
Yeah.
just imagine being on that set, where 20 years later, it's like, yeah, now I've got, like, lung disease or
Yeah,
something.
it's like I don't know if it's a myth or what, but the Tin Man thing about, like, the cancer and stuff.
Right.
Like, we like you said, everyone always thinks it's glamorous, but again, when people were filming The Revenant, great movie, I feel like it's streaming somewhere.
Probably.
Probably.
It counts.
Yeah.
We're not that technical.
Yeah.
No one's paying us. So,
Yeah. And the conditions, they filmed all with natural light, and it was all outside. They never really filmed inside.
Right.
What am I saying? They never did.
Yeah.
They only used light at their ability. The only light they used was they had one light bulb used for a fire, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they got to be cold. They had to be cold because at least lights would add some heat to
Yes.
the set.
So they had to go golden hour, which is when the sun's about to set,
Mm-hmm.
and they also had to like calculate everything, like what time do we want it, when do we want it, how are we gonna bounce the light to get Leonardo's face nice when he's eating the liver,
Right.
stuff like that.
Right. We gotta make Leo look pretty.
Yes. Well, that's always important.
Yeah, actually, it's weird that we're talking about this because one of the things I was just reading, it was a YouTube thing, was the lift in Dirty Dancing.
Oh, yes.
And that when they practiced it in the lake, it was actually cold.
Yes.
And so that's when I thought, yeah, I couldn't have done that. And I'm an open water swimmer, so I go swimming but if it's cold, give me a wetsuit. And obviously they were not dressed for that at all. So, and plus the over and over and over again. And then they have to stop to make sure they got warm and they didn't get sick and all that type of stuff.
And the scene when he jumps down off of the stage. He did that like a bunch of times and he hurt his ankle, I think.
He did. Now that you say that, I know he got hurt. I don't remember what it was. Yeah.
And I like Patrick Swayze. He's great. Point Break is my favorite movie of his. I am an FBI agent. Yeah, I know that one. I love Keanu. He's so good.
Keanu's the best.
Yeah. My mom does not like him.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she doesn't like him. I just don't think she thinks he deserves all the love he gets.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry. I love Bill and Ted.
Oh my God! I made my grandparents watch it.
Have you seen all three?
No, I've only seen the first.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I haven't gotten around to it. My list is so long.
You don't know death yet. I
don't know death.
Once you know death, your love will explode for them.
Socrates.
Right. Socrates. Death. I love death.
Dust in the wind.
All right. On that note, you're listening to Streaming Verse with Chris and Nina's substitute, Deagan. We're going to play a couple PSAs, and then we will be back to hear what Nina has to say via Deagan about Grey's Anatomy.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock?
I can hear you.
Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Where do you go when your money is low? Down in the basement. Tune in Tuesday at 11 a.m. and Saturday at noon for Basement Records. Your home for rock, soul, surf, and whatever else we can find. Basement Records is where it's at on Harper Radio. Radio done differently.
I was trying to see who the band is for that promo. Eric Hansen, whose show that is, told me, and I cannot find it.
Oh, I hate that.
I know. I don't remember, but whoever they are, you're awesome, and we love dancing in here to your, chair dancing to your promo.
Yeah, every time I hear that song, it gets me going.
Yeah. So we are back. This is Streaming Verse with Chris and Deagan. We're officially just going to say Nina's out. We were joking around about it a couple weeks ago, but she sent him in. It's almost like she's saying, I'm done. No, I'm just joking. Nina, I miss you. I can't wait. 2 weeks we'll be back. We won't be on for Thanksgiving next week. The show will start out. I like one of the things we do here at the station is we will play Alice's Restaurant throughout the day. And since our show won't be on, we're at 7 o'clock. You can tune in where I'm going to give a little update on what I'm thankful for, a little bit of history about Alice's Restaurant, and then the 8-minute song that is Alice's Restaurant. It's like a 10-15-minute song. It's long of Alice's Restaurant. So we won't be here, but you still want to tune in at 7 to catch our Thanksgiving thank yous.
Nina says she misses you too.
Aw, thanks, Nina. So now Deagan and I are Deagan, using his voice and Nina's words, are going to talk about Grey's Anatomy. And I'm sure we're going to get some snide comments, which most of my comments about Grey's Anatomy are snide anyway, so that's fine. So does Nina have anything she's already said?
Yes, she has. If you're watching on YouTube, you can actually see there's a decent list of things.
She has a lot there.
That, and I don't really know.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
You're listening to WHCM 88.3 FM, Palatine, Illinois, a broadcast service of Harper College and its Board of Trustees. Continue.
Nice catch.
Yeah.
So, okay, I don't know any of these characters.
You don't need to.
Really, except Amelia.
Okay.
And what I've heard, Nina's like, watch these funny compilations, and I'm like, I don't understand any of this. These people all seem like terrible people. None of them seem like a good person. You know?
A little selfish. A little crazy. Yeah, let's have 1 million kids and be doctors and never be home. Yeah,
exactly.
I get it.
Yeah. So she has something here that says tension between Kai and Amelia. I ship it.
Oh, yeah, they're shipped for sure.
Yeah.
So much. I wrote the same note. Mine said the flirting is on for sure now.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely there. Kai and I don't know if anyone, I'm going to talk to you like you're Nina because I know you didn't see this.
No, I didn't.
There was actually a little micro expression on Kai's face when Amelia said that she was single. She had a little micro expression. Oh, yeah. I even rewound it and checked it out again because I'm like, yep, we got a micro expression there. She's because her lip was like she tried not to smile. That's when she was like, which is really good for an actor.
Yeah.
And that actor is awesome. The one who is Kai.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw Shrill, but they're from Shrill.
I've heard of it.
It was on Hulu.
Yeah, I know. It's the one with Adie Bryant.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things I loved about the show, this really got to me. My mother lives in England, and so when my son was growing up, he got just as many English shows as American shows to watch or listen to tapes in the car, things like that. And so during the surgery with Megan Hunt, when her child was being operated on, she was humming cartoons to her child. And then I have to look at his name because I can never remember his name. Karasik. They were the only two in the operating room, and he started humming Postman Pat, which...
Oh, yeah. I've seen, pictures and stuff of that show.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was so cute, because I'm like... I'm so tired of American shows, because the morning show did this... Not the morning show. Ted Lasso did this, too, which drove me crazy. When they Americanize things, because we don't want to, offend the Americans watching, because they won't understand. So when he talked about Postman Pat, I knew, very few people got it, but it was and I love Postman Pat. I still have the song in my head, from when my child was very little. So that made me happy. And it was also a nice bonding moment because I'm wondering if now they're going to be shipped too.
Oh boy, this seems like stuff is going on.
Yeah. I want you to say Nina's stuff, but I wrote down all the different conflicts happening throughout the show. Owen had a conflict. Miller, that's the guy who died, had a conflict. The female from Station 19, whose name I refuse to remember, had a conflict. Megan Hunt's child had a conflict. Megan had a conflict, and Meredith had a conflict.
Oh my
There's
God.
6 different freaking storylines going on one show. It's no wonder why we're addicted to the show, even though it drives us crazy.
Yeah.
They're filling it all up.
So... Nina always has been trying to get me into this. I've seen a few episodes here and there, but I watched episode 1, season 1,
right.
episode 1. And I don't know, it seems too soapy to me. I think it became more soapy, you know, and by soapy, I don't mean clean, I mean, soap
I know.
opera. I was clarifying for the viewers.
Okay, gotcha. I'm no, but
Yeah.
I agree, but it's not soapy in the acting.
Yeah, no, it's just the plot line.
Yes. Oh, yes, all drama. It's all
Yeah.
drama.
And I'm not going to say all drama shows are soapy. Breaking Bad, not soapy at all.
No.
Very stressful. You're sweating through it. The Crown, not very soapy at
Yeah.
all. Of course there's drama, but it makes sense dramatically.
Right, yeah.
It's not just, oh, they're in a relationship, but they love them and stuff like that. Yeah. And, Nina has been saying a lot of things in chat. Very hard to keep up. But she said Owen also had a conflict.
I said him first, yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
agree
Nina
with you,
maybe
Nina.
listened.
I'm with you. I agree with you, Nina. And what else did she say?
It's a lot. Kai uses they, them pronouns.
Yes.
Which is
I
cool.
didn't notice that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it before because Kai in real life uses they, them pronouns, and we were wondering whether or not Kai would also use they, them pronouns on the show.
Oh,
so
okay.
thank you. Yeah, I
That's-
didn't notice that.
That's very cool. I like when shows do that. I know you had the whole diversity kind of.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like when they do that.
Yeah. It was because they, in Shrill, that actor went by they, them.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I was waiting to see what would
Okay.
happen, and I didn't notice, so Nina picked up on that.
All right. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll read something else
Okay.
Nina said. Tom Korasik's back? Question
Karasik.
Krasik?
Karasik.
Karasik. I
You don't need
any
to
of these
know.
people.
You're fine.
Back. Well, like, he's back. Question mark, question mark, question mark. I'm so here for this! Exclamation point.
First of all, Nina, I love your notes. They are awesome. And I agree 100%. Krasik being back is the best because he is drama, but in the funniest way. He brings a lot of the levity to the situation. Like, he's annoying. Like, on the show, people can't stand him, and he drives them nuts. But as a viewer, it's like, yeah, good, drive these people
Yeah.
nuts because we can't stand these people, if you look at it that
Yeah.
way. You know, so yeah, Krasik being back, I think, is awesome. I'm
Yeah.
definitely with, because...
And here's Nina's counter to that. He's pure chaos. I love him. I can't stand him, but he is a comedic break.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. Thank you, Nina. Yeah, the one thing I wanted to bring up, I'm so tired of Station 19. I bring this up all the time. I'm so tired of these crossovers. And now that Bailey is going to be raising Ben Miller's 2-year-old little girl, I feel like they're trying to force this down our throats. I was talking to a friend about Private Practice. That was a true spinoff where multiple characters went to another show.
Yes.
And it was, I don't know, we could probably say 10 years ago where you didn't have all these streaming options. So what did you do after Grey's? You watched Private Practice. That
Yeah.
made sense. But now it's like, I don't want to tune into Station 19 before Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Let alone after. I don't want to after either. But they're shoving it down our throats, and I really felt it this show.
Yeah.
With this whole, like, I didn't watch it, and I know Nina didn't either, because she never watches Station 19. But we just had to see all these things about, you know, again, the girl, I refused to learn her name, who had a heart attack. She's from Station 19. I like the actress, but I don't care. Like, I don't want to care about Station 19. Okay. What does Nina have to say also about the show?
Okay.
She could be commenting too. I don't know.
She said Private Practice is her favorite. I
Yeah.
think she might have mentioned that a few times on the show, but
Anytime we probably talked about Grace.
yeah, because
She loves Addison.
yeah, no, Amelia.
No, Addison went to Private Practice. The redhead.
Oh yes. Sorry, I got
You're-
a little loud there. I know that actress. I think she's in Kicking and Screaming
Yes.
with Will Ferrell.
Yes, she is. But you're right. Amelia is
Yes.
number one.
Yeah.
But Addison was first.
Yes.
I think Addison was probably on the show first.
Yeah, because she's the main one, right?
Addison was originally McDreamy's wife.
What?
Oh, let's talk. No.
No, I'm like Nick Dreamy. I like him, not in the show, like as an actor.
Yeah.
I heard he's a terrible person in the show.
I heard that too. Oh, in the show? Yeah.
Oh,
well,
and in person, I've heard too.
yeah, but I like his stuff too.
Yeah.
Can't Buy Me Love. That was just the cutest little 80s movie ever.
And Enchanted, of course.
Ella Enchanted, yes.
No, just
Was
Enchanted.
I thought it was Ella Enchanted.
No, the one with Amy Adams.
Yeah.
Just Enchanted.
Okay, sorry.
The
I'm not the Disney person,
Yeah.
so I will take your lead on that.
okay, I'll read something else.
Okay.
Nina said, okay. Why is Megan Hunt making such a big deal telling Owen about Fjark? I kind of went German there. Furk. E-U-K.
I think that's her son. Because while Megan was a prisoner of war, she basically... Oh, yeah, there's so much on the show. She basically adopted Ferrick. I think that's who she... that's the boy. And, yeah, you're right. It's like, why is she making... I mean... it was weird. Even the other thing that was weird about it is Owen had this whole PTSD response. And in the past, Owen used to go into what I'm calling it the pipe room, the steam room. He'd go stand on this grate where all these pipes were. And then he would wait till the steam came up and scream. That's how he kind of dealt with his PTSD. They didn't even do that this show. Nothing. It's almost like the writers have no clue who Owen Hunt is. It's like, I'm available, guys. If you need a writer for Grey's Anatomy, I remember this stuff. Like, it really kind of stressed me out because he said, yeah, I've talked to somebody and I know how to deal with this now. It's like, well, that's good because he's getting therapy. But that's not what you used to do. And what you used to do actually makes a lot of sense because when you're bottled up, screaming sounds like a good thing to me.
Yeah. I might need to do that.
So, any last comments from Nina?
There's a lot.
Okay.
I'll pick one at random.
All right.
Bald dude. I just like that opener. Bald dude and Megan in a relationship. So cute! Exclamation point. But also, didn't Meredith and him just end it because of his son not approving of his father in another relationship? What?
Yes!
Isn't that why they fell apart? Okay, that sentence was very... Not Nina's writing. I'm not...
Right.
But what? What is this show?
The sad part is everyone who watched it knows exactly what she was talking about. Trust me. Like, because I know. Because that's the... and I always... The hard... Bald dude, which is what I've called him too in the past. His name is Karasik. And that's when I said saying Postman Pat. He's from Ireland.
Oh, Ireland.
Yes. And he's like she said, it's like, why all of a sudden, like, you're going to try to match up with Megan when your child had a breakdown because of Meredith? It's like, this doesn't make sense at all. Like, you were just like apparently. So at the end of last season, Meredith and Karasik they went on the first date. The very first show this season, it was all over. There was all this trauma, and we didn't see any of it. It all got explained to us.
I hate when shows do that.
That's why I'm saying normally I don't like, not that it was a time hop, but I don't like that element of it. Where with Morning Show, I want it because of COVID. But yeah, now all of a sudden these two are like googly eyes at each other.
Yeah, like back to the point where you're just like, they just showed it. One of the biggest rules in cinema and television is show, don't tell. Like, exactly, like, yeah, it's just simple.
Exactly. Yes. So, all right. Well, we are going to take another quick break right here. You've been listening to Streaming Verse with Chris, Nina, sans Nina with Deagan. I'm trying to find different ways to say this. Keep it tuned to WHCM. We will be right back after these messages.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and in '09 it was me, your fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when one of my embers landed on dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Sit back, relax, open a can of pop, and pop on a Pop of Facts and Chat show with Kari every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. on Harper Radio, where you'll hear modern music with song and artist facts in between. Get musically educated while enjoying a whole lot of pop, R&B, hip-hop, and whatever modern music there is. Tune in to WHCM 88.3 FM or harperradio.com. Harper Radio. Radio done differently.
And you are back with Chris and Deagan in our show, Streaming Verse.
Our show.
Our show.
Our
Until 2 weeks, and then Nina's back. But yes, no, Nina, you were definitely missed today.
Yes.
But it was very nice of you, Deagan, to fill in for her, especially at the last minute.
Yeah, it was no problem.
So what happens when you're both gone? Do we get Mr. Stoner or Mrs. Stoner? Who's next on, like, for the,
maybe,
And
maybe
then
my dog. Maybe she'll show up.
I'd be okay with that. I don't know about anyone else here at the station.
Just the dog sitting here, not even. probably.
You know how many YouTube hits that would get, though?
Yeah. Dog doing radio.
Exactly. Yeah, sniffing every once in a while, just. Yeah, I was thinking about it. It's like, yeah, so what if I can't make it? My brother lives, my closest family member's in Rockford. So, like, I have to go, hey, Paul, drive to Palatine, get on the air.
Yeah.
And then Nina's going to be like, I've never met you before, and you look scary. My brother used to joke around that he lost his hair at 18, like a family deal.
Yeah.
And he used to ride a motorcycle, and he would wear a leather jacket, and he'd have a bandana on his head to protect from sun. He had a goatee. Yeah, babies used to cry, which was sad. And he's the nicest guy ever, but he looks big and mean and scary, and it's like he's not. Well, that really kind of wraps it up for our show for today. Again, Deagan, I really appreciate you stopping by.
It was no problem at all.
Taking you away from your studying. So if any of your teachers are listening, give him a little bit of a break because, he filled in and he really helped out today.
Mr. Dawson, I love you, but please, I didn't have time to study, man.
Right, exactly. It's like, dude, it was beyond my control. I had no, it was nothing I could do about it. Bringing up the music. I forgot to do this last week when we were closing things down. So like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we will not be on next Thursday. It'll be Thanksgiving, but we will be starting out the show with what Nina and I are thankful for, and also playing Alice's Restaurant by Arlo Guthrie. You guys got Thanksgiving plans?
Probably just to eat food.
Those are good plans.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm flying to Washington, D.C.
Oh, boy.
So I have my book, which I've been waiting 40 years to get.
40 years?
So have you ever heard of The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension?
Negative.
Okay, it's a cult movie from the 80s. My favorite movie.
Okay.
My radio show, Planet 10 Radio, is actually, Planet 10 is from that movie. At the end of the credits, it said, up next, you can see Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. Okay. We never got our sequel. And there's a whole horrid history. If you are ever interested, trust me, you can find it online, what happened. A lot of licensing's right. Well, the creator of the movie wrote a 400-page book.
Nice.
Buckaroo Banzai against the World Crime League. I have it in my hot little hands, and I will be reading it while sitting in airports with earbuds on because I don't want to deal with any drama in the airports or on airplanes.
Yeah, that's nice.
So that's my plan.
Nice.
All right, so I want to thank everyone for listening. Nina, we hope you feel better soon. Looking forward to seeing you back here in 2 weeks. Deagan, thanks again, everyone. Thanks for listening to Streaming First. Don't forget, if you missed the show, you can always catch it on YouTube tomorrow. You just want to go to Harper Radio on YouTube and look for the latest Streaming Verse video. I guess that's the best way to say that. And keep it tuned to WHCM. Everyone have a wonderful evening.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes.